Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and we're back with yet more Choice of the Dragon, which, like I said at the end of the last episode, is turning out to be a much longer series than I'd originally anticipated. Still, in the last episode, we killed some heroes, we ended a war that we started, and we killed that bastard clutchmate of ours. So, yay, productive. Anyway, in this episode, well, I don't know, we'll find out. While you're flying across your territory, you spot a new shrine that your people have erected. You fly down and find that a goat has been tied to the shrine. A young woman is bowing before the shrine and praying. The symbols on the shrine depict some winged deity, but the iconography is unfamiliar.
I say, you down there,
you call out.
To whom is this shrine dedicated?
The woman looks over her shoulder at you. Her eyes widen in surprise as she quickly turns, throwing herself prone before you. She speaks without lifting her head. "Oh, mighty dragon, this shrine is dedicated to you. Please accept my praise and offering. I know it's not much, but it's the best I could afford." It seems that people in your territory have started to worship you. What do you want to do about that? Well, this is unexpected. But I think we should continue what we did in the last episode. Religion is none of our business, and it could be heresy in the religion of the game, and I could encourage it and further my wealth. But ultimately, it's none of my business.
Whom they worship is their business. I ignore it.
You ignore the grovelling woman and pause only to eat the goat before returning to your lair. Over the following weeks, you become aware of a slowly growing cult worshipping you. Your worshippers give more in tribute than the rest of the people living in your territory, but other than accepting the tribute, you pay little attention to the cult. It is a big cult. That's twice now in the space of a week that I've referenced bad news, and this recording won't go up for quite some time, but still. Several weeks after you first learned of the new religious movement, a group of humans approach your lair. They carry a large golden statue with them. The artistry is not perfect, but it is clearly a dragon and probably intended as a representation of you. An old man steps forward from the group and genuflects towards your lair.
"Master, great dragon that breathes the fire that burns in our hearts, hear our prayer. Bless this statue, that it might watch over us, that we pray before it."
The statue was clearly made out of gold, with semi-precious stones for the eyes and the tips of the claws and teeth. It's worth a small fortune, and you hunger for it. What do you do? Well, I could claim it for my hoard, like, right here and now, and that would be a significant plus for it. But these people give a lot of money anyway, and I'm thinking the turnaround time for getting the money back, if I take it, they'll stop giving my money, more or less. But if I let them have it, then they will probably give me more than it's worth in the space of about a week. So
I shall bless the statue and send it back with them, the fools.
You breathe flame at the statue. Not much, just enough to heat it a little, but not to melt it. The gemstone eyes shine as if some flame had been captured within. The people praise you enthusiastically and carry the statue back to their village to be the centre of their religious practices. Over the subsequent weeks, you receive increasing gifts and offerings as your religion grows.
See, what did I tell you?
Actually, I told you.
We are the same person.
No, we're not. You're a dragon. I'm narrating this.
Well, whatever.
Your followers continue making offerings and praying to you. It's a pretty sweet setup, all things considered. Let's be honest, though. Do you actually believe you're a god, or is this just a way to gain control of your followers and extract additional offerings? Well, let's not get too full of ourselves here. Of course.
Don't be stupid. I'm not under any delusions. It's just a means of control.
That's what I thought. Running a fake religion dedicated to yourself isn't very pious or honourable, but it is very profitable, as some people in this world already know. Shots fired, ? Cunning and wealth increase. Kind of doubles what I just said, but anyway. The gods are pleased with your piety for some reason. So, pretending to be a god but knowing you're not, but acting like you are, perpetuating religion dedicated to you and not to any other gods, somehow makes you pious. Okay then. You spend the next 5 years leisurely hunting, recounting your hoard, and sleeping for months at a time. It's a pretty nice life, but you also feel quite lonely at times. Occasionally you imagine what it would be like to find a mate. You wake up in the middle of the night on your enormous bed of treasure. You realise that you are dreaming of a romantic partner, one who could put fire in your life again. Will you try to find a mate? Oh my. Well, I don't know what happens if I say no, but This could be fun, yeah, why not?
Yes, for the fun of it, if nothing else. There's a sport to romance, I find.
Very well. What gender of dragon will you seek out for a mate? This is me we're talking about, so if I'm ambiguous, then so too shall Calemvir be ambiguous.
The human just said it all for me. Let's be ambiguous.
How are you going to find it? Well, let's start off sassy, shall we?
I'll post on an internet message board, because that is a thing.
That was just a joke. What are you really going to do? Well, if I go out hunting for it, then I'd have to leave the lair and risk losing treasure. I could use human spies, but they'll probably end up dead if I wait in my lair. Maybe no one will turn up, but then that might be a raid. We'll just risk the humans.
Yes, I'll use a network of human spies to seek out a potential mate.
Your spies do their best, but you've been keeping mostly to yourself in your lair. You don't have a very extensive network to call upon. Unfortunately, they haven't even heard of another dragon for miles. What do you do now? Oh, I don't want to give up. I want to ship Calemvir with someone. Oh.
Very well. To appease the narrator, I will go out hunting for a mate.
The problem with going out and hunting is that you must leave your treasure hoard unattended for some time. In your absence, someone may try to steal your treasure. Like I said. How concerned are you about this? Well, I mean, having wealth is important for a dragon, but, it's not, this isn't Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. I'm not going to die if they're all gone.
What the human said, I'm only somewhat concerned.
That's only reasonable. How far are you willing to go out to hunt for a mate? That would be so cute and romantic, but, this is not very much, a lot, a super lot. So, we'll go in the middle.
A significant distance. Not that I'm desperate or anything.
You travel hundreds of miles, sniffing the air for the scent of a fellow dragon. Unfortunately, you aren't able to completely defend your lair from thieves. While you're gone abroad, you return to find that a fraction of your treasure has been stolen. Nothing too pricey, but you will miss that jewel-encrusted goblet. Eventually, you find a suitable mate in a nearby kingdom. More than one, actually. To the north, you find a green dragon with a long spiked tail and kite-shaped plates on its back. It terrorizes the countryside with its fiery breath. To the west, there's a subtle, elegant black serpent. They say it sometimes takes human form and walks among the people, whispering in the ears of kings. To the south, you encounter an enormous, scaly sea monster. When it breaches, it leaps out of the water 7 times without exposing all its scales to the air. It has dragged countless ships to the bottom of the sea, where it keeps a vast hoard of ancient treasures. To the east lives the strange 5-clawed luck dragon with flowing whiskers, revered by the humans around it as like unto a god. Oh, this is difficult, because the northern one sounds aggressive. The west sounds out of my league. The south, I'd be a gold digger who's not in it for the love if I went for that. And to the east, I don't know if one would accept me, but, we've had plenty of representation so far. We've had female protagonists, we've had a dragon of questionable sexuality. Well, yeah, let's go for a supposedly Oriental-inspired dragon of indeterminate gender. Yay, non-binary. Excellent choice. I need to do something to impress it. Well, if I steal some of its gold, that's not going to be good. If I make them think I'm a scary thing, I'm working from the bottom upwards, talking through my thoughts here. If I spread rumours of being fearsome, then that'll probably just make him think of me as a threat. Make an offering of an enormous sapphire. Can I afford to do that? Challenge it to a game of wits? Possibly. I mean, that could work, but then I'd have to be witty myself. Wait, hang on. I'm British. Of course I'm witty. Make graceful loops in the air, but what if he's territorial? And destroy a nearby village, that's not going to help.
I'll make an offering of my wealth to extend the olive branch, so to speak.
What a lovely gem. Unfortunately, this dragon already has quite a bit of its own treasure, and is not the least bit impressed by a display of wealth. It rejects advances, and you eventually return home to your lair alone. Meh, I wanted to ship Calemvir with someone. Time passes. Eventually the compulsion to find a mate passes too. You still feel pretty lonely, but over time you won't mind it as much. But I wanted to ship Calemvir with someone. I'm heartbroken. The next 2 years pass leisurely. You sleep on your hoard of treasure, hunt for prey, and occasionally sack a small town for variety. All in all, you're enjoying a little time without any annoying interruptions when some sort of conjured fiend materializes in front of you. It trails smoke as it hunches before you and claws at the stone floor, bat wings fanning the air. Whatever this thing is, it isn't natural. The fiend's voice sounds like the movement of many, many slugs.
Almighty Calemvir,
it gurgles.
the wizard Callax sends his regards. You have been marked for death, and I, or one of my kin, will be your executioner.
Constant interruptions like this make it hard to enjoy all of your treasure. So what do? Kill it or question it? If we ignore the problem, then it'll just go away.
I'll just kill it.
This isn't as easy as you expected. It tastes revolting, it isn't hurt by a breath, it's fast, and it isn't entirely real. Chewing it is like to bite through a ghost. Its claws hurt, though the creature leaves rents in your scales and actually manages to break your skin before you slap it into the wall with your tail. It disappears into a greasy vapor because Americans can't spell, laughing. Magic. One more reason to hate wizards.
I know, right?
The wizard Callax, eh? How do you feel about the attack? You know what? Just going to go with the obvious option.
This is going to become tedious if it continues. That thing tasted awful.
It's probably worth looking into, if for no other reason than it'll be hard to sleep at night uninterrupted. So what's your next step? Well, the monster we've dealt with. There'll probably be others, but we know how to deal with them now. Just tail slap. Don't want to go in all guns blazing. Well, we've missed our chance to find out more about him, so let's just talk to him.
I will talk to him to see what his damage is, as the expression goes.
The tower isn't far at the speeds you fly, less than an hour away. You land in the courtyard, and there's no doubt everyone knows you're there. A cowering servant is pushed through the door to find out what you want. Do you demand to see Callax, or ask more politely? As we've established so far, we're modern, we're European, we're a bit British, so...
I shall ask to see him nicely.
The servant is clearly terrified.
Bring me Callax, human. He and I have a problem to discuss.
You prepare yourself for battle. If Callax is brave enough to accost you now, you won't be taken by surprise. Callax strides out the doorway and into the courtyard, his body sheathed in magical fires that he thinks will protect you from him. He seems cautious, but not afraid. "It is an honour to meet you, Calemvir," he says in a clear voice. "To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?" Now then, I could accuse him of trying to kill me. I mean, he did try to kill me, come on. We could ask him why, but... Again, we're British, we're polite. We'll take a more roundabout approach to finding out what the hell's going on.
How many dragons have you killed in your life?
He looks surprised. None. Killing dragons is a dangerous line of work. I have my hands full with human enemies, thank you very much. Well, this is a curious turn of events. He could just be lying, but if that's the case, then... Well, if he has these defences, there's no way that I'm going to just eat through them, so let's press him a little bit.
Maybe he is telling the truth. I'll see how much more I can find out. That's not what your conjured beast told me as it tried to kill me.
Your anger shakes the tower's stone. Conjured beast? Your Majesty, I don't do conjurations. I specialise in transmutations. I can change a housefly into an ogre or an apple into a pear, but I can't conjure fiends set against my enemies. He pauses. Why do you believe I did this?
Are you not listening? Your creature told me before I killed it.
He shuts his eyes as if in pain. Calemvir, I apologize. I think an old enemy is trying to kill you or to use you as a murder weapon to assassinate me. She calls herself Magister Vermeers, although I don't know her real name. She's definitely a conjurer and she can't stand me.
Has she killed dragons before?
I don't know for sure, but her staff is supposedly made from dragon bone, so the answer might be yes. So what's the question? Well, we can't just leave. I mean, we've got a lead here, so...
I will inquire after Vermeers.
She lives in the mountains far to the south, and she wants this country as her own. Luckily, she's never been able to raise an army, since no one is stupid enough to follow her. She's crazy and very dangerous. Be cautious. Just like Missy, she is bananas! A different conjured monster is waiting for you to arrive at your lair. I read that completely wrong, but whatever.
Mighty Calemvir, it mocks in a wheedling voice. You may have been clever enough not to attack an innocent wizard, but you are no closer to your goal. My true master grows more powerful while you chase his enemies. Come to the peak of Crooked Mountain tomorrow night at midnight, where you will learn what is required of you should you wish to live.
Well, that was a weird voice to make at like 1:45 in the morning. Well, apparently these things taste awful, even though it's a different monster, but still. So,
I shall ask questions first, then eat it.
it doesn't seem as smart as the last one. Maybe you could learn something.
Who is your master?
Why, I am summoned by the queen of this country you claim to...
You cut it off mid-sentence by biting off its frog-like legs. It tastes utterly revolting. Don't know how the French do it. As you bite into it, the beast's eyes bug out of their sockets.
Vermius said you wouldn't hurt me.
It croaks out.
Vermius lied.
You reply, destroying the monster. You settle back down on your hoard in annoyance. So, Vermius wants to face you on the peak of Crooked Mountain. You know where that is. The question is, why? Well, I'd like to think the top one is true, but we're a little bit too genre-savvy.
So that she can ambush and kill me, obviously.
You know that she uses lies to manipulate her foes, and this seems like a classic trap. Do you want to show up atop the mountain at the appointed time? Well, there's no way I'm going alone. This is tempting, but for the moment, I'll hold back.
Not a chance. Far too dangerous.
Well, if that's the case, what's your better idea?
Who said I had a better idea?
Okay, there's no way we can ignore this.
I'll attack her tower at midnight when we're supposed to be on Crooked Mountain.
Sneaky. What's more, if someone has set an ambush for you, she's probably still at her tower and only sending demons or the like to ambush you. Cunning increases. You fly to Vermius' tower. The tower is a heavy granite structure with large oak doors at the base. 5 flames glow at the top of the tower. How do you plan to handle this? These are all very tempting options. We could start at the top and work down. I'm just reading them out at this point. Well, I don't know if it's destructible. That could... smashing through the main doors could be a trap. If I announce my presence, then that would lose the element of surprise. We'll start at the top. That's where she's most likely to be.
Yes, I'll begin at the top and work my way down.
You crash through the wooden deck at the top of the tower. As you begin your assault, inky black smoke from the 5 flames around the tower's edge begin to coalesce into a strange smoky form, all claws and eyes. You're trapped between the demon and whatever is below you in the tower. This could become awkward.
Can I do a sex on it?
For crying out loud, Calemvir, a little while ago you said you were no longer interested in finding a mate.
But you want to ship me.
This is true, but this is also not relevant.
Okay.
Vermius climbs up the stairs towards you, her dragonbone staff glowing in her hands. She laughs. I thought you might be smart enough to attack me in my tower, but it didn't occur to me that you would manage to be stupid enough to leave a shadow demon behind you. Your doom is at hand, beast. This is a bad tactical situation. What do you do? Oh, I don't know. Well, if I do the top one, that could be awkward. If I do the bottom one sounds like a good idea, but this, I will try to escape and get Vermius in one shot. And if I don't kill her, then I can at least still escape the tower, hopefully.
Skewer Vermius with a claw as I race down the tower. I plan on escaping through the main doors below.
Diving down a tower at full speed with a demon at your back would take a lot of finesse. Trying to stab an enemy wizard simultaneously makes this an impossible feat. But I have so much finesse.
Don't say it.
Okay. We have a lot of finesse, so fuck you. Impossible for anyone but you.
Ah, there it is.
Despite all the odds, you pull it off. You don't escape unscathed, though. The shadow demon rips at you as you dive and severs... Wait, hang on. You don't escape unscathed. The shadow demon rips at you as you dive and severs nearly half of your tail. Nonetheless, you make it out, and Vermius is very dead. After taking a moment to eat her body, you circle back and take on the shadow demon. Without its master, no threat at all. Finesse increases. It takes you months to recover. On the upside, you're able to loot her tower fully. You get quite a nice haul once you feel up to flying again. Wow, well that was extreme. I don't remember how much of this is left. I think we're nearly close to the end, but we're up to 20 minutes, so I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons.
I have been and will continue to be Calemvir, and fuck, I want my tail back.
And we will see you in the next part, however long that may be. Praise Calemvir.